Good morning, and thank you, Provost Borland. It is my pleasure to introduce Rebecca Ann Tirabassi, who will be speaking on behalf of the College of Arts and Sciences. Rebecca is a candidate for a bachelor's degree in liberal studies with a concentration in communications and telecommunications, and is graduating cum laude. Although she started her college journey in 1973, she had to place her education on hold. Nearly 3 decades later, however, she returned to BGSU as one of the first students taking online classes towards her liberal studies degree. Over the course of her life, Becky experienced, confronted, and overcame a number of difficulties that enabled her at the age of 30 to publish her first book, Life of the Party. She started a multimedia company called Change Your Life Incorporated, and also established a non-profit organization, Burning Hearts Incorporated, dedicated to encouraging students to pursue their dreams from a young age, to find purpose and passion, and, speaking from her own experience, to live lives to their fullest expression. Becky has written more than 15 books that teach a holistic approach to living life with zest and passion. She speaks to traditionally aged college students on such topics as self-image, sexuality, addiction, and healthy relationships. Becky is married to Dr. Roger Tirabassi, who graduated from BGSU in 1968 and currently resides in Corona del Mar, California. They are the parents of one son. Please join me in welcoming Becky Tirabassi.
Good morning. Dr. Cartwright, I might be your poster child for long learning. Those who have taken a long time to graduate, that would be me. My journey to this day has been long, and I'm honored to come back to this campus and speak to you this morning. I enrolled as a freshman on this campus in 1973. Yes, before many of you were even born, my fellow students, and possibly even faculty. But no matter how old you are, or we are, or how long it took for some of us to graduate, we're here today to commemorate our accomplishments with the people we love most, to thank all those who helped us get here, and to, more importantly, leave here with a mandate to make a difference in our world. One of the last times I was on this campus, it was as a sophomore on a very cold winter night in 1975. Frankly, I was a binge drinker in high school, and it just got worse in college. Before that night, and it wasn't unlike so many others before it, I started a typical celebration with my friends that turned into what could have been one of the darkest moments in my life. When I sobered up and walked across campus to my dorm, I felt so hopeless, and I ended up leaving and going back home to Berea, Ohio. I never said goodbye to my roommate. I never finished my courses, so it's kind of amazing I graduated cum laude. I could never tell anyone the truth about my life at that time. I was an alcoholic. I couldn't say the words, and I didn't return to BGSU the next quarter, but I drove to California with my girlfriends to start a new life. Unfortunately, I kept living the same old life, and I became more addicted to alcohol and got into drugs, and eventually I became suicidal. Though I was only 21, I felt I had ruined my life, and I didn't know how to get it back. At a court hearing for a car accident I'd been in while drinking, I really thought I would commit suicide. Instead, afterward, before knowing my conviction, I drove to a church, and the only person there was a janitor. And he told me that God loved me just the way I was. And I knew no one loved me, not even myself. But this perfect stranger gave me hope to pray a simple prayer and ask God to forgive me and help me start over. And God did. I got sober immediately. I made amends with a long list of people I'd hurt. And I returned to Ohio. And along the way, I became a youth worker and a coach and met my husband and had a son, Jake. I continued to tell my story then to more and more students, hoping they wouldn't make the same mistakes. And I eventually moved back to California and became a certified life coach, a fitness coach, wrote a number of books, and began to travel across the country as a speaker. So 5 years ago, I happened to speak to a BGSU employee who mentioned the newly available online option for students interested in completing their bachelor degree. This option was perfect for me. Someone who had previously attended Bowling Green State University, even though it was decades prior, and I have to tell you, I did feel ashamed of myself and embarrassed many times. It's probably why I didn't consider going back to a California university, though I lived by many of them. But when I realized I could come back to Bowling Green and get what I lost as a freshman, a sophomore, a phys ed major, it was worth every effort, every sacrifice, and the very real learning curve to finish online, starting with learning the Blackboard. I want to give a shout out to my fellow sports broadcasting students. I hope your fantasy football teams went well this fall. I had to learn Twitter and Facebook, live journal and Skyping professors who did not have a camera on their computer, and freaking out while taking those nerve-wracking, timed online tests. It was all worth it to make it to this day. Unlike most of you, it took me 35 years to earn my undergraduate degree, but I'm here with my 88-year-old mother, my husband of almost 32 years, a BGSU grad, and we are not telling anybody he graduated in '68 and I graduated in 2009. He's a Theta Chi as well. I thought I'd throw that in there. My older sister and brother traveled from California with me. My son and his new wife and my best friend from elementary school drove in the snow to be here today with me. I know they're every bit as proud of me as your family and friends are proud of you for achieving this goal. And I would like to take the opportunity to thank them for all their love and support. So graduates, as we begin this next stage of our lives, I'd like to just briefly speak to you about a few of the lessons I've learned throughout my journey thus far. I challenge each of us to leave here today and make a difference in our hurting world, tapping into all the knowledge we've gained in our years at BGSU and accessing our unique personality traits and passions to fulfill our very purpose in life. Let's not wait until the perfect job comes before we make a difference in our neighborhoods, in our culture, in our churches and communities, and across the world. Let's decide today to live above our circumstances and our culture and go beyond what is expected of us by passionately finding a need and filling it every single day of our lives. Secondly, I encourage you to love your family. Maybe your family is like mine. We're not perfect, but I'm living proof that time and forgiveness can heal huge mistakes. So I encourage you to regularly say you're sorry. Be quick to forgive someone who might have hurt or disappointed you, and don't ever be afraid or ashamed to ask your family for help when you need it. Life isn't easy, but a family that loves each other can get through anything together. And finally, I implore you to never give up on a dream, never give up on a goal, and never give up on another person. I wouldn't be standing here if a total stranger had not given me hope to get sober and to fulfill the dreams in my heart. His small act of kindness, a janitor, changed my life forever, and I'll be forever grateful. So with all sincerity, I encourage you to always hold on to hope and never give up, for with God, all things are possible. Congratulations, class of 2009. We made it, and for some of us, better late than never.
Thank you, Becky, and congratulations.